Hi, Miguel. Welcome to CNBC-e. We are happy to have you here. First of all, I want to ask you, could you explain yourself and also Arkham Intelligence?
Yes, of course. So I'm an entrepreneur in the blockchain space. I've been working in the blockchain industry for the past 8 years. I founded Arkham about 5 years ago with a vision to be able to de-anonymize the cryptocurrency world. This essentially means taking a previously pseudonymous and very anonymous kind of world where people did not know what was going on within blockchain transactions, and allowing people to understand more about what is going on within these markets, who actually owns these cryptocurrencies, and who is making these different kinds of blockchain transfers.
You have become the jersey sponsor for Galatasaray, and as a blockchain data analyst platform, do you have any talks on a blockchain project with Galatasaray? Because Dursun Özbek referred to you as a compass in the crypto market and also mentioned that Galatasaray is working digitally. Will there be a new project on the table?
You know, we've had some discussions regarding how we can collaborate more, especially within the blockchain space in particular, given that that is where my company comes from. I think that, as he mentioned during the interview, Galatasaray, is a very old, very traditional, established football team. This is one of the reasons why they are the largest football team as well in Turkey. And so I think that it will take some new adaptation and some new changes, but ultimately I do think that they have a very forward view towards the industry and towards working with sponsors such as ourselves in order to promote new technologies and so forth. So I think that there are a lot of interesting projects that are coming down the pipeline that we are very happy to announce soon.
Can we detail about the sponsorship agreement with Galatasaray? There are claims that Galatasaray could accept Bitcoin. And was this topic discussed at all during the agreement process?
Yes, we did discuss paying in cryptocurrency or paying in Bitcoin, but because of certain logistical hassles that come, unfortunately, with being in the cryptocurrency industry, it's significantly more difficult for large contracts, especially, for example, from regulatory perspective, to be able to issue invoices and make payments in cryptocurrency. So ultimately, it was a topic that was discussed, but at the end of the day, as they stated in their public press release, we did end up paying in traditional currency in euros. So it was more of a normal contract, but I look forward to in the future being able to do more sponsorships and continue to pay in cryptocurrency.
Recently, cryptocurrency assets offering have been legalized. How do you view the new legal regulation concerning crypto assets in Turkey? And what kind of market size do you foresee following the regulation?
I think that in any market where you have a large number of people using cryptocurrency, the government has a responsibility to ensure that that is being done in a safe way. I think that in Turkey in particular, over the past couple of years, there have been many people who are very interested in blockchain, very interested in digital assets and in cryptocurrency, both from a technological perspective, but also from a perspective of being able to make money and to speculate and to trade and to make investments and all these sorts of things. And so from this perspective, I think the government had no choice but to come in and make new regulations. Now, from my own kind of analysis, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been operating in the crypto space for long enough to know what's good and bad. I do think that the regulation is a positive outlook. I think it is positive that now businesses can come and register in Turkey as cryptocurrency businesses, from the perspective that now they know that they're operating legally. If you come in and you work within a market in order to get a license, and then you're able to operate freely, you don't have the risk that from one day to another you're going to be shut down, or that the law is going to change and therefore cryptocurrency businesses become illegal. And so it does provide a bit of regulatory clarity from that perspective, which I think is very positive for Turkey. And as far as the market size, I mean, look, there are tens of millions of people within the country, something like in Greater Istanbul, 20 million people alone. And so I think that as a whole, it's going to be very positive. I think it will open opportunities for example, more traditional institutional investors to also enter the space, whereas previously when it was less regulated, they wouldn't be able to. And so all these things I think are are very positive updates for the country.
Also, how has this regulation affect your on your chain data analysis activities?
From a data analytics perspective, we aren't really very impacted by it, mostly from the sense that we're not offering a financial service at Arkham at this time. We're just providing information. I think that for a lot of the crypto companies here in Turkey in particular that are more financial service oriented, for example, by catering to traders and allowing them to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, for those businesses, they're significantly more impacted. But from our perspective, given that we're only doing data analysis, we're giving people information, we're letting people do research, these sorts of things are not as heavily regulated, and so it has less of an impact for us.
Do you sell to institutional clients like bank or other institutions in Turkey, or are you receiving interest from institutional investors?
Yes, so our largest markets by far tend to be retail traders and retail investors, so smaller fish that aren't necessarily part of a company. That being said, we do have thousands of institutional customers who come and use Arkham for this exact purpose of risk management, auditing, and being able to gather information about everything going on in the cryptocurrency space. Some of those large institutional investors and companies are here in Turkey, but I would say that the overwhelming majority of our user base is accounted for in retail traders rather than institutional investors, but certainly that is a growing market for us as well.
My last question about your activity. How is the activity in the crypto market progress in your data analysis?
I think that overall within Turkey, it's been a steady growth. I think that especially because of some of the kind of financial policy within here in Turkey, it's quite easy for people to come and say, well, actually, I want to exit fiat currency and I no longer want to use traditional money, but instead I want to put my money into Bitcoin or something like this in order to, for example, escape inflation. And so as more of this continues to progress and the market becomes larger and more liquid, I think more and more people will come to the realization that at least some portion of their savings should be in something like a Bitcoin in order to serve as a inflation hedge or as a way for you to have a savings account outside of the traditional financial system. And so from this perspective, I think that the market is going to continue to grow. It has grown a ton over the past few years, especially as the value of cryptocurrencies has increased. The overall market cap and volume that is occurring within Turkey has increased substantially as well. And I suspect that that is a trend that will continue in the years to come.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.